a good bet that prior to this week, few people in America had ever heard the phrase sanctuary city, save maybe for those devotees of the now ancient science fiction film Logan's Run. But following the murder of an innocent woman in San Francisco at the hands of an illegal immigrant who had been shipped out of America several times because of his crimes, we are faced with another reality remnant of political correctness that has cost somebody's life. She is the founder of Lawyers Up Law School, teaching specialties such as how to talk to a lawyer, licensed attorney in New York and New Jersey. Welcome back, Elura Nanos. And from the left coast, veteran radio talker and Newsmax political analyst, Larry Elder. I thank you both for joining us. And Larry, I'm going to begin with you on this one because, look, people may be trying to say, some of the GOP candidates, they want to make some distance between themselves and Donald Trump. Hang on just a minute. Donald Trump opened up this discussion on sanctuary cities. Were it not for him, we wouldn't be here. And this is an important discussion that has to be had with regard to illegal immigration, yes?
Absolutely. What Donald Trump has done is jumpstart a conversation that's long overdue in this country. I live in Los Angeles, Ed. This is a sanctuary city. If you are an illegal alien and you get busted, you will not be turned over to ICE. You will not be deported. After you serve your time, you'll be released on the street, which is exactly what happened with this illegal alien who killed a woman in San Francisco. And less than 24 hours later, another one killed a woman in Laredo, Texas. This is outrageous. It's a violation of the law. And in the case of California, the man was under a detainer order by ICE. And it was completely ignored, and the sheriff said that they knew we were going to ignore it, so blame them, don't blame us.
Well, the one thing we do have to point out here, Larry, and Elura, I'm glad you're here, because technically, and I've looked this up, sanctuary cities are not breaking federal immigration law. They technically are within their rights to do what they're doing and not work with the feds, correct?
That's right. Immigration is a federal issue. There are federal agencies that are charged with dealing with immigration issues, and the federal government is not permitted to use local law enforcement as simply an arm of federal agencies. It just does not work that way. This is a states' rights issue. This is a local versus federal issue. And although I definitely see the point in that this almost seems like it creates somewhat of a loophole, the truth is we really don't want local law enforcement agencies bound to be the arm of a federal administrative agency. It just doesn't work that way.
Isn't that the important part of this discussion, Elura, if we take what Donald Trump said and started here, is that the federal government still needs to look over what's happening with illegal immigrants in this country, and we must make it a priority, yes?
Well, I mean, that may well be true, and I agree. I agree that this is a conversation that's long overdue. But I think calling these sanctuary cities and implying that these are places where illegal immigrants are allowed to do whatever they want, that's not. I mean, I think that's just. It's just flat out wrong. Local enforcement sees the value in creating strong relationships and trust with immigrant communities. And I think that that's really important. When it comes to law enforcement issues, I think that the values and opinions of professional law enforcement must be taken into consideration. Law enforcement believes that this makes communities safer, so that's not something that I'm willing to disregard just because it seems nice to gang up on illegal immigrants.
Larry, I've only got about 2 minutes left, but I want to get a quick comment from you on this. Fair to say that, as I mentioned, those other GOP candidates, they've got to be careful now, because certainly when they talk about a platform and what they want to be elected on, many of them have taken Donald Trump to task, but others, such as Ben Carson, are saying, wait a minute, sanctuary cities, we have to pay attention to this. They have to be careful where they go, don't they?
Well, they have to be careful because the media is going to slam them, because if you are not in favor of porous borders, if you want the borders to be secured first, that makes you a bigot. That makes you, as your guest said, ganging up on illegal aliens. Nothing could be further from the truth. This detainer order, the sheriff said he couldn't follow it unless you have a court order, and ICE says we don't have enough people to get court orders, so the logical extension here is that nothing is going to happen. This is why Donald Trump has struck a nerve.
With regard to this other issue here that we wanted to talk about, the Oklahoma governor says they will keep the Ten Commandments monument on Capitol grounds, despite what the state Supreme Court says at this point. There is a separation of church and state. Is this correct? And do they need to remove this, in your opinion, the Ten Commandment statue, from state grounds?
In my opinion, no. We had the same issue here in California, Ed, where there was a seal on the county cross. The ACLU made the same argument, separation of church and state. The county argued it was historical. The county lost. And this governor is also making the same article that this is historical. The country was founded on Judeo-Christian principles. It's not endorsing a particular religion. It's just respecting our nation's history. So I don't believe it ought to be removed, but I think it will be removed by the courts ultimately.
Elura, we got you back. 20 seconds. Your answer to this statement or to this issue?
Has to be removed. This is the entire body of freedom of religion law that we don't want to make anyone feel excluded, and this absolutely would make people feel excluded. There's no place in it, and it's rightly taken down, and the governor is doing the wrong thing by even suggesting that the court is wrong.
And here we have Donald Trump and his statement, and we have what's going on in Oklahoma. We're going to be talking about these two as well for a long time to come. Elura Nanos and Larry Elder, I want to thank you both for joining us. We'll talk to you both again. Coming up next, right here on the Hard Line, Gloria Allred has her next plan of attack against Bill Cosby. Despite what other people might say about maybe we need to wait, Gloria Allred says we are not waiting. Next on the Hard Line.